It's my humble honor and privilege to stand before you this afternoon as we mark the end of the three-day National Women's Expo 2018. The end of the Expo for me is always a mark of new beginnings, a commemoration of the success of our women artisans who have effectively participated in the single biggest economic empowerment national event for Fijian women. The end of the National Women's Expo means more women getting empowered, equipped with better knowledge, new experiences, more exposure, stronger ties with consumers, and newfound skills to go back and prepare not only for the next Expo, but for a phase of change and new beginnings. These new beginnings will translate into new and improved products, into better sales, to a more sustainable business, and an opportunity to leave an indelible mark in the commercial market and in the thousands of homes across Fiji and also overseas. I'm most thankful to all our sponsors and partners who have made this year's National Women's Expo a success. If you would have noticed, the marketing we did for the National Women's Expo this year was not as vigorous as the past three expos. Even the participation had to be lowered because of the challenge we faced in terms of space. Nonetheless, the crowds were drawn to this venue, and this is a good show of the fact that the National Women's Expo has now become a brand in itself. Ladies and gentlemen, the economic empowerment of women is a critical cornerstone to Sustainable Development Goal 5 on gender equality and the empowerment of women. Days are gone when women in Fiji remained confined to the four walls of their homes, and their immense strength and potential remained unrecognized and unaccounted for. Now they're increasingly participating in all spheres of life, and I must say it is a wonderful way to progress as a people and as a nation. The Fijian government prioritizes policies that promote gender equality and the empowerment of women, and this is not the responsibility of the national women's machinery alone. With gender equality being a cross-cutting issue, several other government agencies play significant roles in helping achieve women's empowerment. Fiji's national gender policy awareness is progressively undertaken across government to ensure women's issues and concerns are mainstreamed into various policies and programs. It provides a comprehensive platform which includes gender advocacy in development. The policy is also consistent with government's commitment to implementing the Women's Plan of Action based on the Beijing Platform for Action and with Fiji's commitment to the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women. Ladies and gentlemen, policies that are targeted at economically empowering women within their communities are important, given the high percentage of women in the unpaid care economy and in the informal sector. To address this, the Fijian government has been investing heavily in income-generating projects for women living in rural areas. Projects which are aimed at boosting livelihoods through a sustainable source of income and which can be looked after by women within their local communities. What you see at the National Women's Expo are products of women who have benefited from this initiative of government and how this platform was created to connect women to markets. The task ahead of us as a ministry is to create a more sustainable market for your products so that no matter where you live, you will always have an avenue to sell your handicraft beyond the 3 days of Expo. It's a challenge that will be a key focus for my ministry after we close this event today. This initiative started in 2014 to bring women artisans out of your comfort zones and to ask you to share the beauty of your God-given talents with the people of Fiji and beyond. You've done that. In 2014, 1,516 women earned $133,152. In 2015, 570 women earned $314,133.20. Last year, 475 women who took part earned a total of $402,469.35. And this year, the 340 women who took part in this expo, as of 2 p.m. today, I've been advised, have earned $430,244.40. That clap is not loud enough for me. Thank you. Apart from the quality, which has definitely improved over the years due to the introduction of standards through the Fiji Arts Council and incentivizing quality through the Fijian crafted emblem, the figures tell us that women are producing more artifacts and are selling more in these 3 days. We now have 170 women artisans who are identified through the National Women's Expo and who are licensees of the Fijian crafted standard. It is now our prerogative as a ministry to initiate tailor-made programs for these 170 women, which will help them graduate out of the Expo. This, of course, will complement ongoing programs for women living in rural communities, which my ministry has been undertaking for years and years. We will also be focusing on our designers to help empower them further with the assistance from our partners in the local fashion design industry. Gender equality and the related aim of the empowerment of women and girls needs transformative structural changes in the way that we think, ways that we behave and live. Given this aim, the combined effort of stakeholders and partners is crucial, which is why we are now reviving all our thematic task forces to ensure we achieve collectively what the women of our beloved nation deserve in every aspect of development. But partnerships that forge positive changes do not necessarily have to be formal ones. They can be partnerships between individuals and groups at various levels that can influence growth and progress for each other. The most crucial partnership of this kind is that of an individual with their family and within their community. This basic support system is in fact the most important support system of all. And it is because of the support system of this kind that you're here today from all over Fiji, showcasing your talents and earning an income that will in turn benefit your families back home. I therefore encourage all Fijians to stand up in support of the women around you. Educate them, empower them, help them, protect them, believe in their dreams, appreciate their talents and skills and sacrifices, respect them for being who they are and for wanting to become much more, because we just cannot excel as a family, as a community or a nation if we don't do these things. I take this time to congratulate the women artisans who received their Fijian-made licenses today, and I hope to see your products with the brand in our local markets and in the overseas markets as well. To the women artisans who have participated in this expo, thank you. Vinabalevu, Dhanyavad, Faexia. Thank you for making this expo a huge success and for continuing to smash that glass ceiling. There's no magic bullet and there's no such thing as an overnight success. Being a woman and growing your business as a woman is even harder. You have to push boundaries to get your businesses off the ground if it isn't already. It is far from glamorous, but I'm sure it is very exhilarating. If we women want to change the ratio and proliferate women-led businesses, then the change has to start with us. So let me ask you to shed your inhibitions and take your cue from other successful women entrepreneurs that you interact with. Take up the offer by the various stakeholders that have been enlightening you on stage in the past few days. Open a bank account, register your business as a legal entity, invest your income, make voluntary contributions to FNPF, look after your health and your families, and continue to be the backbone of your families and your communities. Have the courage to go up to someone and introduce yourself. Be bold enough to talk about your products, they're beautiful, and be honest enough to give the quality that you promise. Your business is going to grow, and you will no longer depend on this expo for your annual income. And when that happens, then we can say that we have truly achieved the objective of the National Women's Expo. Before I close, I'd like to thank our special guests from Tonga, who have given us a Pacific flavor to the Expo. Malo Aupito for making the National Women's Expo richer by the diversity of your products, addressing a niche market for our local Tongan population. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of the Republic of Indonesia, through their Ministry of Women, Empowerment and Child Protection, has also been a critical partner in capacity building for the staff of the ministry and for Fijian women and social services. 2 nights ago, the Honorable Minister, Dr. Johanna, and I signed a memorandum of understanding which would take this partnership forward for the next 3 years. My most sincere thank you to the Indonesian delegation. Ladies and gentlemen, the work that goes into staging this 3-day event begins months in advance, from facilitating divisional level craft shows to selecting the most competent participants for the national event, to preparing the necessary logistics for women to travel in for the event, from stakeholder consultations to actual execution of the various parts of the Expo, from planning to the setup, from registering participants to evaluating each day's performance. It takes tremendous effort. This year's Expo has once again been organized entirely by the staff of the ministry, especially the young, enthusiastic team of the Department of Women. It requires great leadership and even greater teamwork. I must therefore congratulate my permanent secretary, Dr. Corri Vueta, Director Women, and her team from the Department of Women, and the ministry staff from all over Fiji for pulling this event together successfully and in a timely manner. I'd also like to acknowledge the 42 Vodafone volunteers who have been assisting us as a ministry during this Expo. And all of our partners that are here, the media partners, the sound managers in the Fiji Sports Council for the great venue and for assisting us stage a very successful event. What's left now for me is to wish each and every artisan that's made this 4th National Women's Expo all the very best in the endeavors that you undertake in your various communities. I'd like to reiterate that now the focus of my ministry is to look for a sustainable market that will ensure that your works of art being produced in the communities that you live in will have an outlet all year long instead of just the 3-day expo that we've been undertaking for the past few years. I guess it's now for the permanent secretary and for the director of women to take up that challenge. And for you lovely ladies, I thank you once again. I know you've traveled, left your families behind. My most sincere thank you to your families, the support system back home that have enabled you to travel this far and to attend this year's 4th National Women's Expo. Safe travels, Thank you.